Long ago, in the bustling port town of Joppa, there lived a man named Jonah, son of Amittai. God told Jonah, "Warn Nineveh, stop evil." Nineveh was a powerful city known for its cruelty, and Jonah did not want to go there at all. Instead, Jonah decided to run far away from the mission God had given him. He hurried to the harbor, where busy sailors shouted over the sound of crashing waves and creaking ropes. Jonah paid, boarded ship, fleeing Tarshish. Jonah felt relief, slept, leaving God's call behind him. But God had other plans. A powerful wind swept over the sea, and soon a fierce storm began to toss the ship wildly. Waves slammed, lightning, thunder roared. Sailors tossed cargo, but no matter what they did, the storm only grew stronger. The captain found Jonah asleep below and shouted, "How can you sleep? Get up and call on your God." Desperate to know why this disaster had struck, the sailors cast lots, and the lot pointed to Jonah. They gathered around him and demanded, "Who are you? What have you done to bring this trouble upon us?" Jonah replied honestly, "I am a Hebrew. I worship the Lord, the God of heaven, who made the sea and the dry land." The sailors were even more frightened and asked, "What have you done?" As the storm raged louder, Jonah admitted, "I know that this storm is my fault. If you throw me into the sea, it will become calm." At first, the sailors tried hard to row back to shore, but the sea grew only rougher. They cried, "Forgive us." Then, they cast Jonah to waves. The moment Jonah hit the water, the sea became calm and the wind stopped. The sailors stared in awe and offered sacrifices to the Lord, making vows to honor him. But Jonah didn't drown. God had prepared a huge fish to swallow Jonah whole. Inside the dark, cold belly of the fish, Jonah stayed for 3 days and 3 nights. In that darkness, Jonah prayed from his heart. He prayed, "In my distress, I called to the Lord, and he answered me. From deep in the realm of the dead, I cried for help, and you listened to my cry. When my life was fading away, I remembered you, Lord, and my prayer rose to your holy temple. What I have vowed, I will make good." God heard Jonah's prayer. After 3 days, God commanded the fish, and it spat Jonah out onto dry land. Covered in seaweed and sand, Jonah stood once again on solid ground. God's word came to Jonah a second time. "Go to the great city of Nineveh and proclaim the message I give you." This time, Jonah obeyed. Nineveh was so large it took 3 days to walk through. 40 more days and Nineveh will be overthrown. They decided to fast and wear sackcloth, showing they were truly sorry for their wrongdoing. When news reached the king of Nineveh, he rose from his throne, took off his royal robes, dressed in sackcloth, and sat in the dust. The king declared, "Let everyone urgently call on God. Let them give up their evil ways and violence. Who knows? God may yet turn from his fierce anger so that we do not perish." God saw Nineveh's change, spared them, showing compassion. The people of Nineveh were spared because they changed their hearts and actions. Yet Jonah became upset. He went outside the city and built a small shelter to watch and see what might happen. As Jonah sat there in the heat, God made a leafy plant grow up quickly to give Jonah shade, and Jonah was glad for the plant. But the next morning, God sent a worm to chew the plant, and it withered. Then God sent a scorching east wind, and the sun beat down on Jonah so hard that he felt faint and wished he could die. God asked Jonah, "Is it right for you to be angry about the plant?" Jonah replied, "Yes, and I'm so angry I wish I were not here." God said, "You cared about this plant, though you did nothing to make it grow. It sprang up overnight and died overnight." Concern for Nineveh, with 120 souls and animals? Through this, God showed Jonah and all of us that his mercy is for everyone, not just those we think deserve it. Jonah learned that God's love is bigger than our fears, and his plans are wiser than our own. Jonah's story, found in the Bible in Jonah chapters 1 through 4, teaches us timeless lessons. First, we can't run from God's purpose. Jonah tried, but God reached him through a storm and even the belly of a great fish. Second, God gives second chances. Even after Jonah disobeyed, God rescued him and called him again, because sometimes our choices affect others. Jonah's disobedience brought danger to the sailors, but his obedience brought hope to an entire city. Fourth, prayer changes things. Jonah prayed from deep inside the fish, and God listened. Wherever we are, God hears our sincere prayers. Fifth, God cares about everyone, even people far from perfect. The people of Nineveh were spared because God's love and mercy reached them when they turned from evil. Sixth, true change comes from the heart. When Jonah finally obeyed God, the storm stopped and an entire city was saved. Doing what's right doesn't always feel easy, but it brings peace to our hearts and to those around us. His plans may lead us into places we wouldn't choose, but they also bring hope and change. Through Jonah's story, we see that God doesn't give up on us, and He doesn't want us to give up on others either. So next time you feel afraid, remember Jonah. Remember that God's love reaches to the deepest sea and the farthest city. Remember that even in our biggest mistakes, God is ready to listen and help us start again. And most of all, remember that no matter where we go, God's love and mercy are always bigger than we can imagine.
If you've enjoyed this story time with Abby Corners, be sure to like and subscribe to our channel for more Bible stories for kids. Bye-bye for now.